Yeah. I mean, oh God, I've got all sorts of reverb on.
Wow, far out, man.
I thought I'd plan this.
It's like Elvis.
It is. It's over the top. Exit. Right, how are we now? There we go. Right, now it's working.
Just need a sugar hit.
Yeah, so I'm joined by Billy Bragg as he's eating a nice...
Chocolate 12, I think it's called.
It looks delicious.
It's chocolatey and it's twirled.
Yeah.
Well, it was in a suspiciously ill-lit coffee shop. And they didn't have anything else that it was cakey. I did a little bit of cake.
Are they good, them swirls? I never know what it is. There's something that's holding the chocolate in. It's like a yellowy paste normally, and I don't know what it is, but it's delicious.
Over the years, I've come to realise that if I don't put my glasses on to eat, things are delicious.
It's safer that way. There's less.
Yeah, I'm short-sighted.
To get worried about.
Up close, I can see that brown stuff is probably chocolate, and the white stuff is probably the pastry.
Fingers crossed.
I'll soon find out. I'll stick it in my mouth.
I mean, pastries is. I've got a list of things to discuss, and pastries was at the top of that. So I'm glad we got off.
I'm in a difficult period now. I'm on mince pie withdrawal.
Oh wow! I've never been a mince pie man.
Oh man,
I don't get it.
Now our son is like 21. He's still a bit of a kid, but he's not a little kid.
Yeah.
Mince pie is the best thing about Christmas.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's the one.
I mean, the sort of early Christmas when there's 3 or 4 different types of mince pies available, and you work out the one that's going to hit the sweet spot that year.
Yeah.
And then you get some in and stock up.
I need to get into them. I think I've not matured into a mince pie yet.
Mince pies are they're very sort of I don't know, are they an English thing? I suppose they are. I don't
think so.
Technically, the mince meat, in inverted commas, is a leftover from it's Arabic food, isn't it? It's the Arabs who put fruit in with their meat to help preserve it.
Right.
And that's how mincemeat came into English cooking, from people coming back from the Middle East.
Yeah.
And putting, because sometimes the meat will go a bit sideways, because they've got no way of preserving it. So you put sultanas and dried fruit in, and you get the sweet hit with the sourness of the meat, and it somehow it kind of came out of there and got attached to Christmas. Got stuck in the beard of Christmas.
Yeah,
as you do.
It's troublesome. The first time I met your son, it gave me a very important a revelation and realisation in life. If I ever choose to have a child myself, because we were chatting and you were intentionally, I think, embarrassing him a little bit at points, or certainly he was reacting as if Dad was embarrassing him.
Well, that's his kind of default.
Yeah, it was a wonderful realisation that if I decide to have a child, I will always every child's dad will always be embarrassing, because if your dad's Billy Bragg and it's still embarrassing,
of course it is.
And you're at a festival where he's on the main stage and you're still like, oh God, come on, Dad. It's like,
he's still his dad.
There's no battle. There's no battle to be. I'm going to try and be the cool dad. It's like no.
It's impossible to do that. It's impossible to. And I've seen Willer's kid get a bit sort of umpy like that, and it's just one of those things. I mean, particularly at a gig, when everyone's around, fawning a bit and everything. Yeah. It's just the way people are. They want to come up and say hello. They want to have your photograph taken of you. That's really annoying. Yeah. It's your dad. It's like so. So bless him. He's in a band now, but he doesn't allow me to come to his gigs for that reason.
Oh really?
Yeah. He wants to do what he does.
That's nice though.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I
to
really
keep
respect
it.
I really respect it. Yeah, it's really.
What's the band's name?
Oh, if I say that'll spoil the whole thing. So I can't say that. But my point is that he's got it. He wants to do it, and he does do that. Oh, that's really embarrassing. But excuse me, when we did Hammersmith Odeon, last year, sold out Hammersmith Odeon, I had 3 bands. A load of people came on and played. He just sat in the wings and just watched the stagecraft of it. Yeah, he's just watching out to. Because that's the one. Because he writes his own songs, and we don't really talk a great deal about it. He plays his songs to me, but I don't want to be like, what you do, I don't want to do that. But sometimes he comes home and he says, oh, Dad, I lost the crowd tonight. I don't know what I did. I did this, I did that, and I did this. And it normally happens, and it didn't happen. And we sort of talk about that, That's
really good. That's great to have that advice. We had Frank Turner on last week, and we were discussing how, for both of us, seeing you control and have a crowd in the palm of your hand with just a you and a guitar was a huge lesson in stagecraft. For me, and it's it's good to be able to hand that off.
It can
directly.
be done. I mean, some nights they get away from you. Sometimes circumstances are above you. I mean, in the particular conversation I had with a boy, it was Saturday night.
Yeah.
And they were talking at the bar, and he couldn't get. And I was like, Jack, on Saturday night you're providing a sound check of people who are trying to get shagged.
Yeah.
You're just going to, unless you're the name act and they've paid a ticket to see you.
Yeah.
A band like yourselves, you've just got to go there. You've just got to overcome that and give your best show.
Yeah.
And almost despite them, really, really lay it all down there. And I think he's got that. He's got that idea. He doesn't let much throw him.
I think
in that sense,
it can end up, if you get the right a mindset on it, it can end up being a weird motivation in those situations. I remember me and Dan early on did a show where we were on at 1 or 2 o'clock in one of the rooms in a club that had like multi-rooms that were themed, and one of them was a karaoke room. They sold hot dogs in this club. It was a weird place, and we were in like the Aspen ski lodge, and we're playing, and it wasn't a pleasant scenario to be doing your stuff, but 4 or 5 people had turned up specifically for us. And we put on one of the best gigs we've ever put on, because it was like, right, they've had to sit through this shit up until now, and now they're here to see us. So rather than going, there's only a few people here who care, everyone else is not, it's like, right, no, we need to go out and put on a full show for these guys.
You owe it to whoever's there. Yeah. And if the crowd are there and they're not interested in you, then you owe it to yourself to get their attention in some way.
Yeah.
In some way or other. My apprenticeship, such as it was, as a solo performer, was mostly done in a pub just south of the Blackwall Tunnel, which was called the Tunnel, and in the early 80s, in 1982, when I was first starting out solo, they had music on there Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and I initially got a gig on Thursday night for beer money, really, for nothing. Which was fine by me, because I just had to get down there, and it was a no cost to me. I was living in Barking, and I just had to open for whoever was on.
Yeah.
And some nights it was a heavy metal band, some nights it was a funk band. One night it was a band called True Life Confessions, who had 2 strippers and a stand-up drummer. And I just had to take them on. And one of the most annoying things about the gig was in the far corner they had a video jukebox. A jukebox that played, this is at the height of the video thing, played a video, and they didn't used to switch it off when I was on stage. The sound was down, but the video, so there would be people watching, so I used to have to riff on whatever was going on there. Stupid things happen in the video, trying to keep their attention. And eventually it just sharpened me up,
It's it's the tough gigs that allow you to.
And because I was going every week, I kind of got a handle on it. So I sort of progressed from Thursday to Friday to Saturday, and eventually sort of could pull a little bit of a crowd myself. So I think you need that experience, but there's always those gigs where for some reason you can't put your finger on it, just falls flat, or you feel it falls flat.
Yeah.
But the audience reactions, you can never really. I don't think you can ever really be absolutely sure about them. I've done gigs where I thought, for some whatever. I mean, once I did a gig where my voice disappeared completely. The whole top of my register disappeared, and in the sound check I knew, and I said it was in Minneapolis, and I said to my manager, "Oh, man, I'm not going to be able to sing tonight. I'm just got no voice. What's going to happen?" And he said to me, Bill, nobody comes to hear you sing. Don't worry about it. Just do what you normally do. Yeah. And then I went out there, and it ended up, I played the songs and they sang the songs.
Amazing.
And I felt really bad about the whole thing. Every time I go to Minneapolis, someone said, "Oh, it's such a great night. I really enjoy it. Why don't you do one of those gigs again where we all just sang the songs?" It was like, I was like sort of PC,
right?
Just leading them through it, and they were choosing the songs, and I was, it was awful for me from where I was standing.
Yeah, but a great thing. And does that become a...
This piece of fiction is the intro to distraction pieces. This piece of fiction is the intro to distraction pieces. This piece of fiction is the intro to distraction pieces. This piece of fiction is the intro to distraction